Alright, so I'm going to come out today and pick some stuff out of our garden. I'm going to give you a quick tour, hopefully, of what all we got growing behind me here and see what we got going on. I got a few items I want to check out and see how they're coming along. So let's see what's going on here. So as you can see, this garden is huge, and the tomato plants are as tall as I am. I don't stay out here very long in this summer heat. We're supposed to be getting in hitting the century mark this week, and let's see what this is here. This trellis here I planted. I was going to build some trellis, but I just went with this netting trellis, and it's working pretty well actually. I have some these are the cucumbers. This is a Mexican jerkin cucumber. I don't think I have any on here just yet. I'm really excited to try that out. I don't remember what I'm growing in the front of this actually here. And then over here, oh yeah, look at this. This is cool. This is my first year to grow these. These are the long beans, yard long beans. Yeah, so here they are, yard long beans. They're actually quite long, as you can see here. I was out here last week, and I'm going to look on the other side. I think maybe some are ready. I'm not sure how to tell if they're ready or not. But here is the variety that I am growing here that we got at Baker Creek Seeds. So that's the variety. Long bean tie number 2, red seeded. Turn the back here. It says lime green pods, tender delicious. Variety is brownish red seed, late maturing, so better for the south. Well, we're pretty south, and collected in Thailand. It says it takes heat and humidity better than common beans. Recommended for the deep south. Keep the pods picked to maintain production. Drought tolerant, but more productive with adequate moisture. So those are the long beans that we're growing here in the garden. Oh yeah, look at this one here. This one's huge. That I would imagine is ready. It seems like a regular thickness of a green bean almost. Quite long, lime green color, like the packaging hinted at. Come over on this side, you can see the flowers blooming on this, so that's pretty cool. Got a whole bunch of little ones on here. I mean, this thing is just covered in these long beans actually. Hopefully you can see that. Look at this one here. It's growing on the top, coming from the top all the way down the trellis. I mean, that is huge. So I'm going to pick some of these, and we'll see how they taste. Never grew these before. This first year to grow in these long beans, so very excited to see how this works this year. Now in this row here I got all the different pepper plants. This year for some reason a lot of them have actually fallen over, and not quite sure why. I didn't have to stake any of them up last year, but as you can see, they are loaded with peppers under here. That's the habanero there. This is a Tabasco, I believe. Yeah, the Tabasco pepper. I'm hoping to do some fermented hot pepper sauce with these peppers this year. Come over here. We got quite a few of bell peppers on the plant as well. Looking quite nice. This one I put a little tomato stake around it because it was falling over. So as well as some of these other ones. Now here in our tomato forest, see if I can get you a nice big shot of it. Just a large forest of tomatoes here. But as you can see, we got still a ton of tomatoes ripening on the vine here. These are the This is the Juliet tomato here. This is the grafted Juliet tomato, as you can see. So they're falling right off the vine there. They're ready to pick. Delicious. And then there's a ton of tomatoes. People ask me how I get in here and pick them. I just go between the rows, walk in here, walk in between them. No real big deal. These tomato cages work fine for us. Some recommend using some different kinds of cages and stuff, but I never had a real problem with holding up the tomato plants, so they work quite well from us. You've seen my video last weekend on my tomato review. You can see most of the varieties that we are growing. One note on summer tomatoes I did want to mention is that once it gets above about 90 degrees, these tomatoes will pretty much stop producing. Whatever tomatoes are on the vine, they'll still ripen, and that'll be all good and great. You'll still be getting plenty of tomatoes through this summer, but they'll slow down and they'll actually ripen sooner. There'll be smaller tomatoes, and there will be no new actual tomatoes setting fruit once it gets above 90 degrees. So keep that in mind. Now is the time to plant actually fall tomatoes here in North Texas. Actually, you should have probably done it a couple of weeks ago by now. So if you're doing fall tomatoes, it is a little bit challenging to get them to produce before it gets too cool, because most tomatoes will be take a fair amount of time before they actually produce. But for summer, your tomatoes will slowly slow down. They'll start to burn up. Mine have not really just started yet, but they'll slow down, burn up, and even die. You can try to save them through the summer and let them produce for the fall, but I found that is even more challenging because they're going to be so exhausted and stressed out and maybe even diseased or dying from the summer heat that it's better to plant new fall tomatoes. So there's a little tip on tomatoes through this summer. Hopefully that'll help a little bit if you're wondering if you have any problems with your tomatoes currently. As you can see, mine have slowed down quite a bit. Now if we come around this trellis here, I was planning on making some more of these trellises, but you see my video on how I made these out of a picket fence a couple of years ago, maybe last year. Check that out. Very simple and very economical. We've come down this way here. This is the Malabar Spinach. This stuff is slow to take off, and I've got a ton of weeds out here. I'm gonna try to clear some of these out, but it's kind of almost impossible at this point. But this is the Malabar Spinach. First year also to try this out, and this stuff, it's slow to grow, but it is coming along, and this stuff looks pretty nice here. Beautiful leaves. So very excited to get that growing. Come on a little bit further here. This is the scarlet runner bean. You can see some of the flowers here. I think there were a lot more flowers the other weekend. As you can see, there's quite a bit on here starting to bloom. I don't see any beans quite yet on it, so stay tuned to see how those do. Over here we have our these are our pole beans. I grew 2 varieties this year. This is the purple, here it is, purple potted pole bean, and then the standard Kentucky Wonder. You can see here is the purple pole bean, and they actually turn green when you cook them. It's actually starting to burn up a little bit, this variety. I'm not sure why. They lasted a little longer last year, so but maybe because of the heat. I'm not sure, but they are still producing. As you can see, a lot of blooms on them. This is the Kentucky Wonder, and here are some of them down here growing, looking very nice. Come along this way, we have our I guess squash bed, melon bed, whatever you want to call it. Let me start at the beginning over here. Try not to step on anything. Now over here in this area, this plant our vine is actually our sweet potatoes. My first year to grow sweet potatoes. Bought a few slips at the local nursery. About half of them actually died in frost. And yeah, they're coming along. Never grown sweet potatoes before, so hopefully we'll see what they look like. They're a very summer drought tolerant plant, and they look good above ground. We'll see what we get underground later. Come along this way, we have in this area is a variety of melons growing. Let me see if I can find a few to show you. You can see here is one melon here. Don't ask me the variety. They're all mixed together now with all these vines. But several different varieties out here are growing. Trying to be very careful not to step on all these vines and kill something, but here's another melon, and more melons right here growing. So it looks like we're gonna have maybe some melons actually. Quite exciting. Hopefully they will take off and grow. Oh wow, look at this over here. I got something hanging off of a sunflower here. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a melon? Some kind of a melon. I don't think that's a butternut squash. Come up here and you can see my sunflowers. This one's getting pretty big, starting to bend over now. Let's just check out our sunflowers real quick. The sun is just beaming down this morning already. Check it out. Ton of sunflowers. This one right here is the highest one, and it is probably, well, let's see, our fence 6 feet tall, close to another 6 feet, so that's at least 12 feet tall there. These things are huge. Ton of sunflowers. They're great for the garden. Check out my video on why you should grow sunflowers. Very important to attract the bees in our garden to pollinate all these flowers in the melon bed here. I'm not sure if you can notice, but there are quite a few bees actually flying around here this morning in the melon bed, pollinating all of our flowers. And here's our squash plants. I think I had a few squash ready to pick. Our squash plants are kind of starting to die back, I think. I'm not sure, they may be about done, but here's one squash. I like to pick them early. The bigger they get, sometimes the tougher they can be. So there's that. I think we did have a few squash bug problems in our bed also earlier in the season. But I think I really haven't noticed any lately. Maybe because of the chickens. Chickens been out here having fun in the garden. Over here, this is a this could be a spaghetti squash here actually. I think that's what that's gonna be. Spaghetti squash. I did plant that out here. Then over here we have our watermelons. This is our watermelons going crazy over here. See if I can find any. I did have a problem with some end rot on some watermelons, so I had to pull those off the vine. I guess due to a calcium problem in the soil. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get any watermelons. About 6 or 7 of them had this end rot problem. Oh yeah, here we go. Of course they grow outside of my garden and grow in the yard. Here's one. Looks like it's coming along okay. Let's get a closer look at it and see if it has any end rot. No, it doesn't. So this one may be okay to keep on growing. Fortunately, it went outside my fence here. Oh well. Make sure I don't mow over that. So we may have a few watermelons out here, but not as successful as we could have been, I think, because of this end rot issue. I'm gonna have to do some more reading up on that. Maybe if you have a suggestion on watermelon end rot. The end of it was rotten off. Here's what I'm talking about. The end rot here has a lot of these watermelons growing like this, and the end of them were rotting off. My wife threw them all in our composter here. I have to chop those up a little more to break down. Here's our blackberries. And here's some of our blackberries that we've been picking. We've been eating quite a few. Probably make something with these, jam or something, preserves. So we've gotten a nice handful of berries so far this year out of our 2 berry plants. Our asparagus, we just let it grow, do its thing. Our Swiss chard here has been demolished by the chickens. I have some Swiss chard actually growing in the front of the house, flower bed, so if you have chickens, they love the Swiss chard. It's great for the summer. I think some of our success of bug-free garden is, there she is, in our tomatoes. She likes to be in the garden, digging around. Really doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's our buff Orpington, as you can see there, helping us out in our garden. Alright, so there's some of what I've harvested today. Not a lot. Tomatoes are starting to slow down. I did pick some of these yard long beans. As you can see, they are quite long. This first year to grow them, very cool. May try some other varieties next year and actually build a better trellis to grow them on. The trellis isn't really the best that we did, but this is our first year to give it a shot, see how they turn out. And we got a lot of peppers. These are some serranos, vine ripened serranos, and some jalapenos also, and tomatoes. I'm going to make some salsa with some of our tomatoes, jalapenos, onions, and cilantro. Everything out of the garden, so that should be really tasty as well. So thanks for watching. Make it a great day, and stay cool out there in this summer heat.